Hello, hello. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to get into this presentation. I know you're going to learn a ton. This is all about how to build a six-figure online yoga business from scratch. In this presentation, I'm going to show you the 5 pillars of business that I use to grow my online yoga business to 6 figures and beyond in less than a year, and how you can do it too with no email list, no giant marketing funnel, and just your Instagram and a few apps. Let's get into it. My name's Summer Huntington. If you're not familiar with my work, I'm actually a mother of 2. I've got another baby on the way when this is filmed. I'm about 4 months pregnant. I've been an entrepreneur since age 26, and I'm 38 now, so that's going on 12 years. I'm an international yoga teacher and a flow coach. I'm most known for my work in founding 2 systems, Kinesiolyoga in 2011 and Mace Vinyasa in 2017. And these are strength and functional movement-based coaching modalities. I've published 12 online courses. I started them on Teachable and then migrated them over to Kajabi, and now I use other apps as well, which I'll talk about in this presentation. I'm a big believer in investing in personal development because your yoga teacher training cert can only get you so far. And so I found by investing in my business skills, marketing skills, sales skills, it's really allowed me to scale my business and work smarter and not harder. And I want the same for you too. I have run a brick and mortar full service yoga studio. I did that for about 6 years. It was called the Flow Shala, and I've downsized and now gone into just private one-on-one coaching and virtual online courses. So I really do practice what I teach, practice what I preach, and I do know that this is the smartest and most efficient business model for yoga teachers to be making $100K a year with 80% profit margins. I'm known as a coach of coaches. I do have a more intimate container, which I highly recommend checking out as you come to completion on the Embodied Yoga Business School. The work that I do is primarily in giving yoga teachers an additional skill set in functional movement coaching so that they can deliver the highest quality program design and allow their clients to really get results. My background, I have a master's in kinesiology, and so I'm a performance coach, and my job is to really bridge the gap between strength training and yoga. You can see a couple of testimonials here from Coach Jolie. She had about 15 years of experience when she joined my course. She actually didn't have a yoga certification, and she fell in love with Mace Vinyasa. And this course, she said, landed where reinvention was calling, reinvention of herself, her studio, and her training philosophy. There's a deep sense, a culminating sense that I'm on the right track with my calling as a coach and teacher. And then Amanda Rico down below, she runs a yoga studio. She also facilitates retreats. She came to me with about 10 years or so of yoga experience. She says the course was an absolute game changer. She hadn't considered herself to be a movement coach. She was always in this lane of being a yoga teacher, and it really allowed her to expand to reach a larger audience and to integrate strength and functional movement into her program design and into all of her offerings. But enough about that. Today we're here to talk about Embodied Yoga Business School, the 5 pillars of business. So I'd love to just share a little bit about you. So I've been running Instagram ads for my Flow Coach Accelerator for over a year now. And so I have literally thousands of DMs that are specifically targeted to yoga teachers. So they click on an ad, we have a conversation. That's the kind of the lead nurturing piece. And I've learned a ton. This is really why I've built the Embodied Yoga School. Yoga Business School is because I know that people really need like a first step, yoga teachers especially, before diving into a deeper, more intimate container for personal development. So you probably have no email list, really no business model that you know of. You have an idea of making a course, but really no knowledge of the current marketing tactics or how to execute them. You might be unsure of the market potential for a yoga business, and you're not really sure if you want to start a studio, create a personal one-on-one clientele, or just be strictly virtual and just have like done for you online courses. So here's some screenshots from some of the DMs that I get on the regular. So a lot of folks are loving the teaching, but having a hard time building a sustainable funnel. This person down below, I've been teaching yoga for 12 years. We relocated, so I had to start all over with building a client base. The person on the bottom here, financially, it's scary to pay for coaching, and I know that's exactly what I need to lean into. And so I created this as kind of a first step to learn the 5 pillars of business and get some traction and just help you really understand the pieces that are really missing from the yoga teacher training, which are the other 4 pillars of business. Here are a few more just screenshots. I could share so many of these. When I asked the yoga teachers in the DMs, like, what do you feel is missing for you to get to 10K months? This is what their response was. I've been doing Rolfing for 13 years. Yoga Pilates Strength has been something I want to get my clients to do more of, and I want to set up a program in an online app, but I'm just not sure where to start that. This person says, I'm missing confidence, mindset, belief. I'm capable of putting in the work, and there's also a bit of procrastination. This last person, knowing how and where to find clients willing to pay $120 an hour, confidence in my own ability to develop and teach a private session, and of course, understanding of business. So I'm really big on listening to my audience and really meeting them where they're at. And so this little pivot here, it's like, I think of this as kind of like a micro course or more of a self-led course. That's like a first step for getting you some traction. And then I'd absolutely love anyone that wants to continue in growing their skill set in functional movement coaching to continue to stay with me. So where you are at is exactly where you should be right now. You're exactly where you should be. I have a couple statistics here. So a sales funnel or a sales page, because there's so much saturation in the field, especially with like paid ads and people kind of getting lost in websites, like clicking around and things, they're going to have a really low conversion. Usually it's around 3% at best. And this is what I've seen from being a part of many masterminds that run campaigns through like targeting a funnel. It's like an email opt-in and then doing like an email targeting sequence after. Generally, that's about a 3% conversion. So that's 3 out of 100 people potentially to buy the course. And that can range from like a mid-ticket to a high-ticket course. Whereas a sales call has a higher percent. So they can range between 30 and even 50% conversion. Some people are even higher with their conversion, just depends on the marketing and drawing the right client and screening your clients before getting on a call. But what this means is that creating a higher ticket coaching offer first is the most sustainable way for you to get to 10K months consistently, because most yoga teachers that start out don't have a big email list. And so a 3% conversion on like 100 emails is really small. And generally we need to have that sales call piece integrated to be able to convert the person or the potential client into a client. This slide originally was at the end of this presentation, but I want you to be thinking about the numbers like on the front end. So here are the 3 most common kind of business models for somebody that's trying to start their own like yogipreneur business. So you can either do private one-on-one, which is about generally the going rate or the starting rate for movement coaching is about 120 per hour. And if you just take 10,000, you divide it by 120 per hour and you get 20 client hours per week, which means probably likely around 15 or so clients, because some clients might want to train with you or be coached by you like 2 times a week. Some are going to be 1 time a week. So 15 clients, 15 people, 15 sales per month to be able, or 15 client hours. And that doesn't necessarily mean sales per month, but that's 15 or so clients that you're working with overall. And we want to retain those clients so they keep signing on again and again. Now, if you're wanting to make $10,000 from something like a low ticket course, like a $97 course, that's going to require you to have like 103 course sales every single month consistently. And that would require a very large email list and really a robust sales funnel, strong brand, strong marketing, and really a strong brand promise as well. And then down below here, if you're teaching a workshop, let's say your workshop is a 4-hour workshop, it's $197, and you get 10 students and you do that once a month, your earning potential is about $2,000 per month for the workshops. So I honestly think the first one and the second one, the first and the third, the private training and then holding quarterly workshops are a really great way to build a sustainable and strong high profit margin business. And then, of course, later on, if you want to sprinkle in the $97 course, awesome. We can go there, but I would say don't start with a $97 course. Start with the private clients and then reverse engineer your offer suite. So Embodied Yoga Business School, what do we cover in 12 weeks? This is a self-led course with community support and Q&A with me, which I do twice a month. And it's really a roadmap for you to follow. So you're going to get 6 modules in the Flow CEO course. You're going to be getting access to my my digital nomad on-demand workout library. So if you want to embed and start to learn the Mace Vinyasa practice or flow coaching practice, you'll have access to an entire course of like 300 plus yoga flows and workouts. And really what it's about is clear and succinct business strategy. So this is industry specific for yoga service-based businesses or people that are just starting out. So I really service a large spectrum. So I have coaches or yoga teachers that are literally just graduating from their 200 hour. I have people that are thinking about their 200 hour and they haven't even done one with me. I have people that have been in the field for 2 to 5 years. I have people with 10 years plus experience, 20 years plus experience. It's a huge spectrum, but all yoga businesses, service-based businesses, come back to these 5 pillars. So what are the 5 pillars? They can go in order. I generally have them go in order of lead generation, lead nurturing, sales systems, client retention, fulfillment's in there too. But this is the order that you'll probably want to start with. So firstly, in order to create a program, you actually need to embody your own practice. You need to become your best client first, and then you can start developing your signature program. This is exactly what I did. I embodied the practice. I workshopped it on my own. I did the practice in a solid manner. I journaled about it. I refined it. And then I went to work in developing the manual, the written format of what the program was, and then the filming, the shot list, and the videos to support it. Let's go to the next slide. We can break these down a bit. So your signature program is essentially your offer. This is what you'll be talking about in social media and content and marketing. It's your lead generation. All marketing, all roads should lead to your offer. And I'm going to be teaching you exactly how to create a marketing strategy that works for you and that feels embodied and good, how to create content that really speaks to your ideal client, how to create free opt-in pages, and more. So that's a lead generation piece. That's one of the most important pillars of running a business. Then we have lead nurturing. This one's commonly left out. So lead nurturing is all that DMing that I'm doing throughout the week to screen somebody before getting on a clarity call or just make sure I can really help them, make sure they're a good fit. So it's how you communicate to your prospective clients before they make a purchase. And there's many different ways that you can nurture leads. You can do this through automated email sequences, providing value, providing back and forth questions through email, through DMs, even a quick phone call. There's so many ways that you can lead nurture, but that's the piece where it's kind of like a piece between generating a lead and getting them on a sales call. It's kind of that middle piece there. Number 5, sales systems. So the sales systems that I focus on most in Embodying Flow are really the mid and high ticket. And so that's creating your actual script of questions that you ask when you get somebody on a clarity call, how to ask the right questions, how to pitch the program, how to handle objections, etc. There's a really specific format for this, and I've done literally thousands of hours of sales calls and clarity calls, and I am just so excited to impart this knowledge to my yoga teacher family, because we really need to lead from a heart-centered place and an embodied place. And this is not having like selling tactics, but it's really just listening deeply to the client's chief complaint and helping create a roadmap and a path for them to get to their desired result. And then number 6 here is client retention. So that's when your client buys another product or service and they stay on with you to continue working with you in some capacity. So I am here to say, if you haven't been told this, you can overcome tech fears. You can grow an email list from 0 to thousands. Everyone starts with 0 email lists when they first start a business. I started with 0 after already publishing courses and teaching internationally for 4 years. I had 0 emails when I launched my first course, and I put in the work, I put in the free content, I created the opt-ins, and now my list is continually growing all the time. You can wake up to sales. You can have leads or potential clients waiting in your pipeline. You can publish an online yoga program with very little tech skills. You can get better at teaching in front of a camera, I promise you. And you can make $100K a year plus with yoga. If I can do it, I'm an average yoga teacher, a mother of 2 kids. I have another baby on the way. I was a single mom for 7 years when I first launched my first yoga business. If I can do it, you can. The next time you say you feel overwhelmed, examine the most unfamiliar events and get familiar. It's totally normal to feel overwhelmed. In fact, it's expected when you're learning something completely new. But you just have to adopt the mindset that you're going to figure out these 5 pillars of business. promise you they're across many different business industries, service industries. Like those 5 pillars are there. Lead gen, just memorize them to heart. Lead nurturing, sales systems, fulfillment, and client retention. You should know those by the end of this presentation. All right, so how to build a 6-figure online business. In the Embodied Yoga Business School, we're going to be working with 3 things: community and engagement with an experienced coach, that's me, who wants you to succeed, so you can help people heal their bodies and minds with yoga. We're going to be working with concise information in a digital format, so you can watch it on your own time, pause, take notes, rewatch it, do the laundry, feed a child in between. There's 6 modules in FlowCO. Those are the most important modules, and you have 3 months to go through them. You actually have lifetime access to them. So I do recommend that you get those done in the first 40 days and then rewatch them again and refine. And the third piece, you're going to be hand given the best strategy for a market. So AKA, you're going to be learning to serve humans that desire transformation through yoga and movement coaching. So it's a different container that we're creating than just teaching a class online or teaching a group class that somebody's going to a studio for. It's a different market that we're serving when we're servicing one-on-one. Here's a little quote for you. We cannot become what we want by remaining what we are. So this program is going to push your edges. It's going to illuminate a lot of things, a lot of old patterns: procrastination, perfectionism, financial scarcity, fear of showing up and being vulnerable. These are all of the things, actually they're in module 6 of FlowCO, but these are all the things that I've seen with mentoring yoga teachers throughout the years. And there is a very specific way to retrain your nervous system to let go of those old patterns that no longer serve you. And trust me, I want that for you. All right, so let's get into the 5 pillars of it. So firstly, the prep. You're going to create a transformational program and embody it because you're your first client. That program is going to have movement, lifestyle, and mindset. So you'll design your most potent classes and write them down. You'll write down the lifestyle practices you do with instructions on how to do them. And for mindset, you'll record meditations that empower you with your own voice, and you'll actually do them. Embodied Yoga Business School is a 12-week business growth course, and it's designed to fully book your one-on-one private yoga coaching clientele. So if you follow the steps and you take action, you should have clients by the end of this 90-day course. By the end of this 12-week course, which is essentially 90 days. All right, so the offer. So in the modules, you're going to be working on your offer, which is essentially the fulfillment piece. We start with that because all marketing materials, all lead gen, all that stuff needs to start with knowing what your offer is and who it's for. So I recommend designing a 12-week signature program that's industry specific. It's 3 months is the most ideal time for a client to make a change and have time to actually make traction and overcome barriers to behavioral change. Single sessions really don't benefit the client long-term. So our offer should not just be a one-off session. Your soul clients really want to embody this practice as a lifestyle. So give them tools and empower them to use them. Yes, you can teach your sessions either one-on-one in person or virtually. I found after running a brick and mortar yoga studio for 6 years, post-pandemic, people's learning styles have really changed. We expanded to a global audience. We found that 65% of people preferred their coaching online. Even people that lived in Bellingham, where we ran our brick and mortar, really opted for the virtual. So they would choose the virtual classes because it was more convenient, even though they could just drive 10 minutes to the studio. Hence why I decided to cut the big expense of running a brick and mortar and just move everything to online. Even private clients, we had clients from all around the country, different time zones, who did all their coaching online. And about 90% of my clients are online right now, even though I do have a brick and mortar and people can come in and go to my mini studio. It's just a one-on-one micro studio. So we've shifted to this hybrid learning style. So think of all the courses you've consumed likely on the internet. The online coaching space is estimated to be $25 billion in 2025, and you can definitely enter the space. Now is honestly like a really good time to be entering into the space. Creating your online yoga business means creating digital assets and systems. That's all. Just keep it simple. You're getting digital assets of your teaching, of your methodology, of your signature program, and you're creating systems to sell it. That's it. Number 2, all right, lead generation, your content. So I use Instagram I help people convert their personal page into a business page. So I have a few questions for you. Is your content on Instagram purely business yet? If not, let's get that changed over to a business page and really optimize it. Optimize the bio, optimize the photo, all the things, all the content. We'll get your freebie up and running. We're going to look at offering a free class series as a way to drive traffic and get eyeballs in front of you, generate leads. We're going to look at free workshops showcasing your program. These are all some of the out of the box strategies that I use for lead gen for yoga teachers that don't have a big list. So we'll be getting into this quite a bit in the Embodied Yoga Business School. So how's your lead generation right now? Are you visible or are you hiding? Are you actively collecting emails? Yes or no? How many yoga offer related pieces of Instagram content did you make in the last 30 days? You can pause this and look down at your phone, look in the last 30 days. Today's January 1st, look at December 1st and look how many posts that you made that had a specific call to action that drove people to sign up for your course or book a clarity call or buy your course. If that number is 0, Embodied Yoga Business School is probably a good starting point. Have you hosted a virtual event in the past year where you collected email addresses with an opt-in form? I recommend hosting virtual events often. You can do, them bi-monthly, you can do them quarterly, but this is a really great way to get a lot of people in a room to feel your energy and connect with you. And we'll be covering how to do this exactly step by step in the Embodied Yoga Business School. Number 3, lead nurturing. So lead nurturing can be done by email marketing sequences, how you answer email inquiries from prospective clients, like that conversation that you have where you ask them deeper questions, not just giving them the price, but I usually will have an exchange back and forth for a few emails prior to giving someone a recommendation, and how you communicate in the DMs. There's a specific science to lead nurturing in the DMs. The digital marketing space has changed more in the past 3 years than in the past 50, and it's always changing. And I've been working really hard to stay as up to date as I can. And I've hired some of the best coaches for Instagram DMing and just learned the strategy of how to stay and appear as an authority in the DMs. So I'm going to teach you exactly how to do that. All right. So when we're lead nurturing, we want to be asking the right questions. We're going to be talking about current situation, desired result, what they've tried to get the result. Would they be open to support? This needs to be about them and not you. So we're asking succinct questions to explore the client's chief complaint. Things like, do they have chronic pain? Do they have back injuries, neck pain, weight gain, brain fog, burnout? These are the chief complaints that clients that invest in private one-on-one coaching are looking for solutions for. All right, number 4, the fulfillment. So generally a package for a private one-on-one should be anywhere from 10 to 12 hours of one-on-one session, and you should sell them in a package. I think, just coming from a personal training background and master's in kinesiology, that when we just sell the client an hour of our time, we're really doing the client a huge disservice. I am of the belief that we need to create a 12-week progressive program. If somebody's investing in 12 sessions with us, it is our job as a yoga and movement coach to build a progressive program that integrates both strength, mobility, and like no intensity days as well. So your self-care, your meditation, things like that. And so all of this is done when we're creating our client tracking manual and program. You can also have and should have supporting videos. This is optional, but it's just going to make your program a lot more well-rounded. You might offer some nutrition support. This can be basic stuff, guys. Does not have to be, dietitian, nutritionist stuff. It can be just the basics. But having some nutrition support within your fulfillment of your program is going to be really helping your client get the best results. And accountability. The reason a person hires a coach is because they want to be doing their homework on the days they don't see you, and they want to be kept accountable for being consistent. And we know the truth is they need more than yoga just one time a week to be getting results. And so it's our job as a coach to be able to design a program that has all aspects of lifestyle that are really going to help them get to their desired result. Private one-on-one yoga should be more customized than your group classes. I can't state this enough. It needs to be a custom experience. It needs to be more than just an hour of yoga. So if you're teaching exactly what you teach in a big group setting to, Jane, who's 55 and has a knee replacement and a hip replacement surgery and is 40 pounds overweight, like, you are missing the mark. Come to the Flow Coach Accelerator, learn to work with special populations. If you do know how to work with special populations, you need to scale it down and you need to create a customized program that really fits that client. And you need to provide accountability for doing a home yoga practice as well, and design one that's safe. So not like crazy yoga poses that the client's going to injure themselves at home. We want to make sure that we're developing easy to accomplish, smaller sort of bite-sized mini homework sessions that the client can be successful at. And lastly, number 5, client retention. Does the client continue working with you, or do they continue to purchase your products or services? It honestly takes more effort to gain a new client than retain an existing client. So I do recommend you do a great job with fulfillment and provide a high level of customer service so that the client continues to stay on with you and re-sign, re-enroll. And you should have a plan for retention from the very start and be kind of shadowing that for your client as you go through the program. All right, so if you're feeling inspired, definitely you can send me a DM if you have questions, but if you're ready to build an embodied yoga business, I highly recommend getting into my Embodied Yoga Business School, the 3-month container. It's super accessible. It is super doable. If you follow the steps, establish your practice, work on the 5 pillars, rinse, wash, repeat. Here's what it looks like if you were to jump inside. I want you to start making consistent sales online now. So in month 1, you're going to be designing your program and your digital assets. And in month 2, you'll be getting consistent with marketing, booking 8 to 10 clarity calls and making sales. In month 3, you're going to launch your offer to your email list that you've been building, host a masterclass, and book 10 plus clarity calls and make sales. Keep it simple. The main thing is that we're working on the 5 pillars of business to get those clarity calls booked and refine our sales process. And we learn a lot by hopping on sales calls. We'll learn a lot about what the market wants, what the client wants. Is our offer a match for who we're getting on the phone call for, or do we need to tweak it? Do we need to refine it? Just to reiterate, the things that your client needs are movement, lifestyle, and mindset. And so your job is to deliver the highest quality one-on-one yoga coaching experience, deliver an actual program that helps them integrate new behaviors, keep them accountable for it, and to teach them the mindset of how to meditate and journal and see how this impacts them. So if you decide you want to get in, definitely click the link below and you'll just get started instantly. You're going to get access to my Flow CEO program and a couple other bonus videos and introductions. You're going to learn the 5 pillars of business that I use to grow my online yoga business to 6 figures. And some other fun facts. Profit margins for yoga studios is about 10 to 18% at best because there's such high overhead. We've got payroll, we've got brick and mortar space, we've got a lot of marketing expenses, and that's generally seen as like a low ticket, high volume business model. And that's why the profit margins are so low. The profit margins for a one-on-one yoga coaching business are closer to 80%. You don't need a brick and mortar space. You can have a small, studio. You can work out of your home. You can do all of your sessions virtually. You can rent space by the hour, but keeping your overhead really low is going to allow you to have profit margins around 80%. So build a lean business from the get-go. All right, next steps. You can take action or you can keep thinking about it. I find that the people that take action make my best clients, the ones that they feel called to take a step. They're willing to do the work. They're willing to believe that no matter what, it's going to work. As long as they put one foot in front of the other, they build the systems, they build the infrastructure of their business, they're going to see success eventually. It's just a matter of continuing to put in the work. So my goal is anybody that enrolls in the Embodied Yoga Business School is going to build an embodied practice. They're going to create their program. They're going to create systems to attract their ideal clients. You're going to sell your one-on-one offerings and live events. All right, let's go, guys. Can't wait to see you in there. Send me a DM once you sign up, and I'll see you on our next Q&A call. Thanks so much.